Okay, let's have a go at this in the Kriya Yoga chapter in The New Path by Kriyananda. Page 417. Paramahansa illustrates, well actually he's illustrating the Buddhist view, but perhaps with slightly different words. But anyway, we see it, the mind gives a reflection, and then the intellect defines it, it's a horse. And then the ego says it's my horse. In other words, it's specifying a relationship. And then chitta, feeling, comes in and says, how happy I am that it's my horse, that I see my horse. And he says, true ego bondage begins. Chitta is our emotional reaction, including likes and dislikes, desires and aversions. It is the true source of ego bondage and the essence of all delusions. Look, if you don't have values, you're not a person. You live according to your values, and living is considered to be something good. You may not necessarily define it in physical terms. It may be in spiritual or causal or whatever God understands to be living. But it's good. And you don't live without good values. In other words, you must have feeling towards values. Love and kindness is good. You accept those, you invite them in. This is who you are. There are other things like hatred and violence. You reject, you repel, you dislike, you're not happy about the presence of such. You don't have it in the kingdom of heaven. Feeling is vital to your choice of values, and your choice of values is who you are. And except your values be in harmony with heaven, there's no way heaven can have you in there, because you'll wreck the joint. So, what's this ego problem? Ego appears declaring, this is my horse. Okay, the my should be changed to our, because it's kingdom of heaven. This is acceptable to us. This is good and glorious and helpful and part of the harmony of heaven. I embrace it. I desire it. I appreciate it. I value it. I value God. What do you think love is? It's to value. And it's my God. Well, actually, it's our God if your ego has expanded to embrace. Or it's our God. He is our God, our dad. And certainly belonging to ego. The ego is, if you like, expanded, matured. It embraces life, all life. And we value it. My goodness, do we value it? And am I happy with it? Yes. Goodness. Kriyananda's put the word joy to his name. Why? Because he values it. He's happy with such and such. It is something of his. And he embraces, ideally, the view of God, the Father, and all living beings. All, in fact. Thine is mine and mine is thine. Are you saying Jesus was not enlightened? Oh, well, that's a novel thought. Okay. be reasonable. Thank you, Dad. So feeling gives power to your discernment. And without the drive of feeling, you won't initiate. There won't be the volition. You won't do it. You won't live. God has given us feeling for a very good reason. And very often, you can get the feeling before you understand, and you think, oh, this isn't quite right. Oh, what's strange about this? I don't know about this. Let me think about it. The feeling is there. It's an intuition. Wow. It's a thought from the heart. Could be an alarm. It could be the reverse. It could be, oh, there's something rather lovely about this. What's this? This is good, isn't it? And you check it out with the intellect. The mind comes to bring in the analysis, bring in the heavies. Is this right or isn't it? But feeling is everything to life. You get a person who's really depressed, there's no feeling. Can I get you anything? No, thanks. Should we do so-and-so? No. They're just none. They're dead. That's what you do in meditation. So often people just clear the mind. Haven't you realised that's damn dangerous? What would you like to occupy that you're not controlling? And I'm on guard, man. I'm controlling the mind. Whatsoever's good and lovely, that's where I put the mind. I don't leave it alone to wander in the wilderness. It might get attached to anything the world throws at it. I choose. It's my mind. And I have a responsibility to it. And I guard it and protect it. I'm not leaving it dormant. I'm not wasting it. Look, the Buddha made a courageous step, perhaps. Assuming it's history, but the story, whoever wrote the story of the Buddha, and there's probably many contributors to that. Many contributors to that. But it's a great attempt to get rid of the ritual and the trappings and the unnecessary stuff as they saw it in current religion of their day. But the result was the followers threw God out the window and even the concept of self. Must make the Buddha tear his hair out. Buddhism's no more following the teaching of the Buddha than Christianity follows the teaching of Jesus. It's gone the way of the world. When Chairman Mao meets with the Dalai Lama, he says to him, your society is utterly corrupt. 2/3 of it support 1/3. It's the poor 2/3 that support the elite third. The bulk of your people live in poverty. And you've persuaded them that it's right, that they'll have salvation through continue to support the elite. You see, Mao was a communist. I'm not at all clear he valued people. I think he was more motivated by hating elites. And you could say, well, that's absurd because he became incredibly elite. Well, yes, perhaps power corrupts. You see, the Dalai Lama realized very wisely that he's going to get nowhere with this man, and this man has the power to overrun the country. He'd better get out fast. And so they did. those that could. Do you see, even a man like Chairman Mao could pinpoint exactly what was wrong with your religion. And it's not that you have to be a father of genocide and war to pinpoint very clearly what's wrong with a religion. You can be Jesus, and in a few words goes to the heart of what's wrong with Judaism as it was at the time. Religion can get so installed that its contradictions and lies cannot be challenged. For the culture itself comes to mirror the theology stroke philosophy portrayed. So we have it that the Christian nations have perfected the art of war. Our war technology impresses and terrorizes the whole world now. We spent a good part of the last century trying to destroy ourselves in 2 world wars. And we ever feel we're in danger of destroying the whole world in this century too. Our culture has come to reflect the 2 major religions, Christianity and science, technology. Will God save us from it? Is this another horrific, temporary, transitory lesson that we have to learn the hard way? My God, why hast thou forsaken me? You don't want to learn it that way. Take good advice and observe the consequence of evil, and choose with your whole heart the good. And I'm talking about you. Ego you. Feeling you and your discernment, your values, who you are, life, striving to become mature, that you take hold of life eternal, abundant life. Have your part in the host of heaven with our Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad.